Welcome to amazing Munich, the third largest city in Germany and the state capital of Bavaria. With a population of about 1.5 million residents, the city often ranks top in city lists for quality of life and standard of living. Situated on the Isar River and not so far from the stunning Bavarian Alps, Munich is famous for culture, beer and football. Despite being heavily bombed in World War II, Munich's rich history and traditions have filled the city with interesting places to explore, including amazing parks, churches, palaces and museums. So here is my top 10 based on many visits to the amazing city of Munich. And stay to the end for a bonus location with a great viewpoint that is free of charge. Oh, and before we get started, I will apologise in advance to any German speakers for my terrible pronunciation. Our first stop is right in the very centre of Munich. Marienplatz has been the main square of Munich since about 1158. In medieval times it was used for jousting and also as a market. Today it is the busy central hub of the city with a U-Bahn station, shops and restaurants. The main feature of this famous square is the new City Hall. This extravagant neo-Gothic building was completed in 1905. It still hosts the city council and other civic institutions. Every day at 11 AM and 12 PM and also 5 PM March to October, the famous Glockenspiel can be viewed with its moving mechanical figures showing famous scenes from Munich's history. Don't forget to wander into the courtyard. You can also pay to enter the building and ascend to the viewing gallery in the tower. Also in Marienplatz is the Old Town Hall, which dates back to medieval times. In the centre of the square is Mary's Column, which was built in 1638 to celebrate the end of the Swedish occupation. Our next destination is just around the corner from Marienplatz. Munich Cathedral, better known as the Frauenkirche, is a huge medieval brick building. It was constructed in the Gothic style and mostly complete by 1488. The building was severely damaged in World War II, with restoration taking until 1994 to complete. The Twin Towers are famous landmarks in the city and are nearly 100 metres high. Since March 2022, the South Tower can be climbed to reach the highest observation point in the centre of Munich. The massive interior is 109 metres long, 40 metres wide and 37 metres high. As someone who is a bit of a cathedral nerd, those dimensions are very, very big, so the interior really is a totally epic place to see, so make sure you don't miss it. A few minutes walk away is another important square in Munich known as Odeonsplatz. This majestic 19th century space was named after a former concert hall. The location is infamous as the location of the 1923 beer hall putsch, where Hitler and the Nazi Party attempted to seize power in a deadly gun battle, resulting in the deaths of 20 people. Today, Odeonsplatz is the location of several interesting buildings, including the Feldherrnhalle, which was commissioned in 1841 by King Ludwig I of Bavaria to honour the Bavarian army. It is a copy of the famous Loggia de Lanzi in Florence. Another site in Odeonsplatz is the impressive Theatine Church. This large building was designed in the Italian Baroque style by an Italian architect and was constructed between 1663 and 1688. Although the towers and facade were added later and completed by 1768. The interior with its intricate stucco and majestic dome is utterly stunning. Another great location nearby is the Munich Residence. This huge former royal palace complex was once home to the monarchs of Bavaria. It consists of numerous inner courtyards and about 130 rooms. The site dates back to medieval times and has been extended and updated many times. The current complex consists of impressive Renaissance, Baroque and neoclassical buildings, many of which have impressive interiors that can be visited. One of the many highlights is the Antiquarium, built in 1571. It is one of the older parts of the palace with its stunning sculptures and decorations. The complex also contains a treasury, theatre and many other stunning rooms that you will need to spend a few hours to explore. Next to the residence is the Hofgarten, or Court Garden. This large city park was built in the 17th century in the style of an Italian Renaissance garden. In the very centre is a charming Diana temple which was completed in 1617. The Englischer Garten is a large park next to the Hofgarten. It stretches from the city centre and extends almost to the city outskirts, making it one of the largest urban parks in the world. Created in 1789, it is styled in the manner of an English landscape garden. This style of informal garden design was made famous by the English gardener and landscape architect Lancelot Capability Brown. Highlights of this huge park include the Iceback Villa, where you can watch locals surfing in this man-made river. Nearby is the Monopteros, a small circular replica of a Greek temple that was built in the 19th century for Ludwig I. From its mound, you can enjoy lovely views across the park and see the historic city skyline. Also in the park is a beer garden with its ornate wooden tower built in 1790. It resembles a Chinese pagoda. Another highlight of the park is a hard-to-pronounce Klein Hessel Loher See, a large lake with spectacular scenery that looks especially great in autumn. Munich is home to many palaces and parks, but none are as memorable as spectacular as Nymphenburg Palace. Located in the city's western district, it's best reached by public transport. This huge Baroque palace was the main summer residence of the former rulers of Bavaria. Constructed between 1664 and 1675, it was then extended massively over the years. The extensive main facade is over 700 metres long and is simply glorious. The interior is open to the public and contains many opulent rooms, the most memorable being the stone hall with its richly decorated Rococo ornamentation and stunning frescoes. Surrounding the palace is a huge park with a mixture of formal Italian Renaissance-style gardens and informal English landscape garden park. The huge site contains a number of smaller buildings and monuments, many of which can and should be visited. Highlights include the stunning Amalienburg hunting lodge with its amazing Rococo interior. The park is open all year round and looks especially stunning in winter and autumn. Germany is world famous for its excellent cars, and Munich is home to one of the most famous brands, BMW. Located to the north of the city centre is a huge factory complex and headquarters of this famous company. Located here you can find the BMW headquarters building with its impressive modern tower, alongside the BMW Museum where you can explore the history of the brand. Just across the road is BMW Welt, which is a free-to-enter giant showroom and showcase containing current BMW vehicles. The impressive modern building was opened in 2007 and looks especially epic at night. The Olympiapark is situated next to the BMW Complex and was constructed for the 1972 Summer Olympics. The park contains the impressive venues for the Olympics, many of which are still in use today, including the stadium, Olympic Hall and Aquatic Centre. Another highlight of the park is the Olympic Tower, which is 291 metres high. The tower serves as a broadcast tower, but also as an observation platform at 190 metres with stunning views over the city. Also not to be missed while visiting the Olympiapark is the hilltop viewing point located on a mound in the south of the park. From here you can get some of the best views of the park and also these great views across the city with the majestic Alps in the background. Heading back toward the historical centre of Munich, the next amazing place is Königsplatz, or King Square. This large public space is home to some important neoclassical museums and buildings. The centrepiece is the impressive Propylaea Gate, which was completed in 1862 and was inspired by the architecture of the Acropolis in Athens. The Glyptothek Museum is another monumental neoclassical building and was completed in 1830 and designed to house the collection of ancient Greek and Roman sculptures belonging to King Ludwig I. Situated opposite is the Staatliche Antikensammlungen, which was established in 1848 and holds a state collection of antiquities. And yeah, I know I probably badly mispronounced that. These buildings are just one part of Munich's museum quarter, where you can also discover other museums and galleries. Finally, we arrive back in the very centre of Munich to visit St. Peter's Church, which is the oldest recorded parish church in Munich, predating the city itself. The current building dates from about 1327 and was built to replace an even earlier church that was destroyed by a fire. Over the centuries, the current church has been modified and now includes many ornate Baroque and Rococo decorations, with its especially famous Baroque high altar. The 91-metre high tower can be visited to see some of the best views in Munich, but has a very small viewing platform that can get very, very overcrowded, so avoid busy times before attempting the 300 steps to reach the top. However, the views are pretty spectacular. Last but not least, a bonus site for anyone who likes a good view. Situated on the banks of the River Isar is the Maximilianeum. Completed in 1874, this monumental building is now the home of the Bavarian State Parliament. From the top of the steps leading up to the main entrance, you can see epic views over the entire city, a real treat and a great place to relax and soak in the scenery. That's it for my top 10. Let me know in the comments if you disagree with my 10 picks, and feel free to correct my awful pronunciation. Thank you very much for watching. If you made it this far, I would greatly appreciate it if you hit the like button, as it really helps my channel. Many thanks and see you next time.